Hi, I'm Yukioka Fuji, Assistant Professor at Ritsumeikan University in Japan. The title of my presentation is Driver's Gaze Behaviors Are Influenced by Vehicle Position. First of all, I will introduce some background for this research. We have been focusing on understanding driving behavior. Almost all you have heard, humans drive with three processes that are perception, decision-making, and operations. In particular, we focus on perception process in these, in other words, focus on driver's gaze behavior. We consider gaze behavior is very important because this process is a first sensory information process to drive. So we believe driver's gaze behavior must be a key factor to figure out holistic driving behavior. In order to figure out driver's gaze behavior, I think there are mainly two research questions. First, where do human drivers gaze at? And second, if we can figure out the driver's gaze point, why do human drivers gaze at there? For decades, lots of studies have discussed where human drivers gaze at during driving. From the recent studies, driver's gaze related to driving itself has been categorized into guiding fixation and look-ahead fixation. The guiding fixation is defined as gaze at the road 1 to 2 seconds ahead from the vehicle position around here. So this is directly related to the driver's operations. Of the topic of today's talk, but the famous gaze behavior, tangent point, here, is in the subcategory of the guiding fixation. So another fixation is look-ahead fixation, which is defined as a gaze at more distant portions of the road. This is not directly related to the operations, but this allows for planning the future actions. The areas of these fixations are sometimes overlapped, but in this study, to clarify the difference of them, look-ahead fixation is defined as an area more than 2 seconds ahead, around here. So this simple question, where do human drivers gaze at, is conditionally solved for this decade. However, it is unknown what factors determine the driver's gaze behavior. This point is our focus of this study, and we made a hypothesis for this question. So to consider the details of our hypothesis, we take a famous two-point steering control model. This is not a fixation or gaze model. So this model assumes that driver's steering behavior is influenced by the far and near regions. In this figure, the blue circles here is far regions, and the orange circle means the near regions. So drivers are usually looking at the far region in their central vision for guiding and smooth control. In addition, the steering behavior is also influenced as a compensatory control by the near region captured by their peripheral vision. The overview of this steering model assumes that the vehicle state for tracking control is stable. However, when the vehicle's tracking control is unstable as opposed to the situation of this two-point steering control model, the drivers may gaze at the road edges in the near area to directly measure the lateral position of the vehicle that allows for effective lane keeping control. So we hypothesize that the drivers preferentially acquire some information according to the current vehicle state. During stable tracking performance, drivers may gaze at some point for prediction, in other words, planning. And in addition, during unstable tracking performance, drivers may gaze at some point for lane keeping control. In order to verify our hypothesis, we conducted a simulator study. We had only one participant, and the participant tried 64 courses extracted from the real-world maps. The vehicle speed condition was 45 and 90 km per hour, but this talk mentioned only the result in 90 km per hour. Oh, sorry. For evaluating the driving data, we use three indexes. We assume that the situation where the vehicle here is located on the road and the driver gets at some point like this red star. So first evaluation index is FD, fixation distance. So which is defined as a distance from driver position here to the fixation point here. So like this yellow line. So next is LDF, lateral deviation of fixation. So this is the defined as the distance from the fixation point here to the road center line closest to the fixation here. So this blue line is LDF. And final is LDV, lateral deviation of vehicle. So this is defined as the distance from the vehicle position here to the road center line closest to the vehicle. So this green line is LDV. Then we analyze the driving data using these three indexes. So first result is a scatter plot between FD, fixation distance, and LDV, lateral deviation of vehicle, yellow and green relationships. So as shown in this figure, the results show a mountain shaped like here. And LDV means vehicle position. So when LDV is 0 around here, so it means the vehicle is on the center line. And when the vehicle is on the center of the road, the drivers tend to gaze at the far region because driver's gaze is expanded to around here in the far region. So by contrast, when the magnitude of LDV is higher around here or around here, the drivers tend to gaze at the near region because the driver's gaze is concentrated around in the near region here. So to analyze the details of these data, LDV in this figure is separated in 30 centimeters, like here. So we created each panels. So, and we created wiring plot for each separated areas. So this is a wiring plot in each separated LDV. So similar to what I said on the previous slide, we can see that FD fixation distance tend to vary with the magnitude of the LDV. So for example, when LDV is small so around here, so which means the tracking performance is stable. So medians of fixation distance were higher. So median is represented as a red line. So therefore, we can conclude that drivers tend to gaze at the far region. By contrast, when LDV is large around here, so medians of fixation distance were lower. So in addition, we calculated the rate of fixating the guiding fixation area. The borderline between guiding fixation and look ahead fixation was defined as 2 seconds in this study. So this line. So when the LDV was small around here, the guiding fixation rate was about 70%. So whereas when the LDV was large around here in these panels, the guiding fixation rate was about 80 or 90%. Therefore, when the tracking performance is stable, drivers gaze at more looking ahead fixation area. So they need the planning for control. So next result is a scatter plot between LDF and LDV. So this green and blue lines relationships. So as shown in this figure, the results show a trapezoid shape like here. So as the same analysis of previous results, LDV was separated like here and to create a wiring plot. So this is a wiring plot in each separated LDV. So when LDV is small around these panels, so medians of LDF were almost 0 here. So this means that drivers gaze at the center point in the road. In addition, as the magnitude of LDB increases, like here or like here, so the results show a monotonic increase. So it means that when the tracking performance is unstable, drivers tend to gaze around the road edges. So finally, I summarize these results. When the tracking performance is stable, here, so drivers fixated around the center of the road in the far regions. So on the other hand, when the tracking performance is unstable here, drivers fixated around the road edges in the near regions. So this result consistent with our hypothesis. Drivers preferentially acquire some information according to vehicle state, so which relates the trade-off between the prediction and the lane keeping control. So we abbreviate the result in 45 km per hour, but the tendency in 45 km per hour was the same result in 90 km per hour. So finally, I will present our study summary. The aim of this study was to verify our hypothesis driver's gaze behavior is influenced by the vehicle position. Then we conducted the simulator study and analyzed the driving data. The results show when tracking performance is stable, drivers fixated road center in the far zone. In addition, when tracking performance is unstable, drivers fixated road edges in the near region. As a future work, we have to generalize this result because we analyze the result of only one participant. So thank you for listening my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.